All right, so here we go again. All right. It's round 2. Just moving the box over here. Heard some things moving around. I'm gonna get this open. I'm curious how they got it packed because it should be. Okay. Actually, not sure if you guys can see that. That's what we got in here. Just some of that stuff. And this is actually kind of pathetic. Unfortunately, nothing in here is fragile. But you can see it was just that cardboard paper and then some bubble wrap kind of thrown in here. That's not even wrapped in anything. Oh, and I guess 2 boxes for good measure. Not sure what that's supposed to do. And it's just an empty box. Yeah, this is just an empty box. I mean, I guess you can call it empty anyway. I'm not sure what that's about. So I don't know. But what I have here is a drive shaft from an Evo 8. And of course the hangers, which I didn't get with mine. And a hub and knuckle assembly. So this is just the left. They didn't have the right when I purchased this. And I guess this used to be like a brake shield. But yeah. Alright, so I'm not too sure how to feel about that. Obviously, the items, at least what I need, are in good shape. The brake shield took a beating, of course, in this packaging. Fortunately, it didn't have to go far. I'm in Virginia. I think this company is in North Carolina. But that's pretty poor. That's a pretty poor excuse for packaging, if I say so myself. Again, you guys saw me open it. That wasn't staged. That's just how that came. I heard it kind of rattling around as I moved it, because obviously it's kind of heavy. And I was a bit concerned. So maybe this is a one-off thing. Like I said, I've ordered from these guys before. I'm not sure what the issue was. But, again, fortunately, everything's in good shape. Doesn't look like anything was damaged, so that's the important part. Now I'm going to go ahead and get these kind of stored on my rack of goodies that I have over here. Like, because, of course, I won't be needing these just yet. All right, guys, so what I'm going to try to do, I already showed you how I cut the crash bar. I was going to attempt just pretty much skin it so I can fit the intercooler behind it. After kind of looking at how it was made, that's not going to work. So I just went ahead and cut it out. And the intercooler fits nice. And the intercooler fits nice with this old bracket. And this bracket is actually from the Punishment Racing kit for the DSM that I used to have. I just happened to find this. It was laying around. And I was able to put it to use. Now you can see it's actually upside down. And this way it actually gives me perfect clearance at the bottom of the intercooler, even with the bottom of the bumper. So I shouldn't have any issues with scraping. But for peace of mind, I do want to try to make something that can act as a crash bar. Now, if you look at the OEM crash bar, it's actually pretty thin metal. And it actually flexed pretty easily as I was cutting it. So I do have there's some scrap metal laying around. I'm going to see if I can kind of fabricate something and get it welded up. If anything, just to kind of want to protect the intercooler. You know, like in parking lots, somebody having to bump the car. I don't want it to ruin the front of the car. And I just feel more comfortable if something was up here. Alright guys, so this is what I have so far. These bars are actually probably only about 1 inch in diameter. But if you look at them, they're actually quite a bit thicker than the factory material. They got some decent weight to them. So I think these would be good enough to save the intercooler like just in a parking lot fender bender. Alright guys, so I got the bumper fitted pretty well. The intercoolers should be centered. The good thing about this particular one is I'll be able to adjust it a little bit side to side to make sure that it's centered before I actually weld everything up. But now I just need to cut along the bumper in here because it's about 1 inch or so away from lining up. Now what I'm going to do is actually take some painter's tape. And this is the 2-inch painter's tape, and then run this. I can run this along the inside of the bumper where I'm going to cut, and then use this to mark my line. Like, you could try to freehand this, but I've never had good luck with that. It always comes out looking really bad. So I'm gonna use a guide. I'm gonna use this painter's tape to help make my line look a little bit straighter. And again, you want to try to cut as little off the bumper as possible. So again, I'm gonna lay this down on the inside lip of this, just all the way around, and then cut along the outside edge of this. And that should give me plenty of space to mount my bumper. All right, guys, so I got the tape laid down. Like I said, I'm gonna be cutting along this outside edge. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. This bumper is already cracked. This is how I bought it. So I'm not really worried about messing it up. I'm done with the trimming. Came out okay. See, my line, again, still wasn't perfect. Now, I actually didn't have the cutting blade for my Dremel. So I actually went ahead and used just the angle grinder with the metal cutoff wheel that I had. Of course, it cut through it really quick. And it actually kind of melts it as it's cutting. So you gotta be careful with that because plastic does get hot. And in case you're wondering, the reason I put the cardboard on the intercooler was just to protect it. Obviously, just going through this whole process of making the crash bar and taking the bumper on and off, you can hit the intercooler, might bump into it. You don't want to damage the fins. So the cardboard just helps to protect it. It's the last time the engine bay is gonna look like this. And I went ahead and put the bumper on. Right now, it's just being held on with zip ties. But I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. As you can see, I got my stop plugs here. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Now, I may move the license plate, but unfortunately, that's not a really good spot to put it on this car. I thought about maybe putting it over here, just kind of in the gap so it's not blocking as much of the intercooler. But even still, it's going to block it at least a little bit. But maybe that might be better. And then it'll help hide the blue coupling if I do that. Coupling on that side. Alright guys, so I'm holding the bumper up just to kind of give you a good idea. But the intercooler fills the gap pretty well. I'm pretty happy with I'm also happy with how it came out as far as my cut. And I think I'm just going to leave that how it is for now. Now we can kind of move on. Now we can move on to the next step. And that'll be the intercooler piping. So I've already got the kit. I ordered the kit offline. I'll go ahead and put it down in the description of this video and the next. Remember, those are affiliate links. So if you purchase anything from those links, they do help me out a little bit. I'm going to get it mocked up and go ahead and take it over to Trey because Trey's actually going to weld those pipes up for me. So that way we don't have to have a bunch of couplers running through the engine bay. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching my video. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to my channel to follow the build of the Galant here. And I'll catch you guys later.